you have ever criticized someone for their weight? Who has ever been called names for being too skinny? How about for being too overweight? Many of you may not know what I am talking about. Society today is big on body image. First impression is very big, especially at a young age. Some people may just call someone names and never even know how upsetting it may be. Some people may start to develop eating disorders, depression, or even worse, performing some type of self-harm. I myself have had trouble with my weight. I've never felt skinny enough, and sometimes I have even felt as if people were laughing at my weight. Labeling is not a good thing, especially to label someone at a young age for their weight. I'm here to convince you to look at how labels are used in the fashion industry with plus size and to remove labeling as a whole. Some of you may have never heard of a plus size model. Most may be asking what exactly is a plus size model. A typical plus size model, as said by Anthony Higgins, a director at MSA Models, states that a plus size model in the past was a size 10 to 12. Now they are calling a size 8 as a plus size model. Even though Anthony says that a plus size model is a size 8, he would hire all body types if he had his own magazine. He sees beauty in everyone. Plus size models, just like a regular model, can walk in runways, have photo shoots, and also be on magazine covers. Now that you know what a plus size model is, you may be wondering what a high fashion model is. The definition of a model, said by Collins English Dictionary, a model who wears clothes to display them to prospective buyers, a mannequin. A regular high fashion model, as said by Rosen, has a height of 5'9" to 5'10", and is a size 0 to a size 4. Being a high fashion model, you have a higher chance of booking any job, from runway to photos. Young girls seeing high fashion models very skinny might make them want to take on these looks. Girls seeing an average size of 8 being called plus size in the fashion industry might make girls become depressed and start an eating disorder. Now, labeling of a model plus size and high fashion is affecting girls of all ages. People need to think about how young girls are looking at a model and seeing the label plus size as 8, and that being in the average size for American girls. Girls are going to be getting bullied for what they think is overweight. In general, the size of 8 is the perfect size for a girl. Not only a size 8, the size is from 8 to 12. Not only are girls being bullied for being overweight, girls are getting bullied for being too skinny, when in reality, they are the perfect shape of healthy. Since girls are getting bullied for both being skinny and being overweight, they are producing different disorders, like an eating disorder, depression, and even self-harm. Eating disorders are so common in America that 1 or 2 out of every 100 students will struggle with one, as said by the website kidshealth.org. There are 2 types of eating disorders, anorexia and bulimia. Not one is better than the other. Both are very bad and will affect health in the long run. Not only are eating disorders bad, girls can become depressed with how they look and also by what other people are saying about them. The worst thing that can happen from labeling is self-harm. A person can become so depressed that the only way they will feel better about themselves is self-harming in some type of way. This may be cutting, hitting, or even suicide can all be factoring in labeling. To stop someone from starting up these bad habits is to just sit them down and tell them how beautiful they are just the way they look. Now let's take a look at how life would be if we stop using labels and just seeing people's bodies as they are. Models will become models. Who cares what size they are? Where a plus size model is just as beautiful as a high fashion model, can rock a runway just as good, if not better, than a person who is a size 0. Women will become more confident in how they look and will not be worrying about their body. They will start to love themselves more if there are no labels. Girls will not have to worry about what size they are. Bullying will go down, and so will suicide. Taken from the website Bullying and Suicide, it says that suicide is the third leading cause of death among young people. With this being said, labeling being stopped, suicides and bullying will go down, since more people will be accepting. Not only will women benefit from this, but also men will. Men will get more confidence in seeing women happy with their bodies. Men will also start to accept women with how they look. And lastly, men will stop worrying about their appearance just as much. I hope that you taking the time and listening to my speech about labeling, I have convinced you that labeling in society can be very harmful to everyone. There are 3 main things to remember about labeling. Labeling is bad. It can cause life-threatening effects. And without labeling, there will be very smooth sailing from here on out. In conclusion, labeling in the fashion industry as high fashion and plus-size models are bad, and we need to just remove them as a whole. Lastly, remember to love your body no matter what anybody is thinking. And if you ever see anyone starting to develop